Welcome back to another episode. Today we're actually going to be talking about how I found so many different bottoms for individual names in the past year, utilizing one simple method: inside candles, specifically monthly inside candles inside bars. I'll get with you in just a second. Now, what exactly is an inside bar? Inside candles typically trade within a previous large candle, with the high being the resistance and the low being the support. To show you an example here, we're looking at snow on the monthly chart. Now, most of these names that I found bottoms on were based on the monthly inside candles from last year. So, for example, if I draw this here, this is the May 2022 candle, and I mark the low on that same candle as well. You'll notice the high and low of that candle. Now, for the past year, we have been trading within this candle. We've had a couple of fake outs above, a couple of fake outs below, relatively still range bound within these two levels. Now, little tip of advice: you can mark these levels and then color code them for better visuals. So the top of the range of this candle, you can mark it as green, which will indicate a bullish breakout, while the low of this candle, you can mark it as red, which will indicate a bearish breakdown. Now, if we actually zoom into this, we were able to provide multiple moves on snow over the past 6-7 months. There was a YouTube video I did earlier in January that discusses snow as a potential watch list candidate and swing candidate. If you actually take a look at this, executing trades based on the inside candles are actually very simple and straightforward. All you have to do is, once you find that inside candle and find the inside range, you zoom it. You utilize your technical analysis or any other methods that you personally have. For me, I am a price action trader. Once I zoom into the chart, what you'll see here is this red box indicates the support and demand zone of this range. On January 23rd, I provided a watch list indicating that snow was bullish. And at the time, we were trading around 140 to 135 during that week. Once it found the bottom intra-week, we saw a 33% move within a couple of weeks into 180. Now, that was the first wave. A couple of months later, at the end of March, I brought it up again in my community, indicating that snow is likely going to run into its next ER, which was May. Same exact reasoning, same exact analysis, same exact entry area. And again, you're going to see here that this demand zone held the entire time. Now, with that, we got another upside move of 42% right into our May monthly inside breakout candle. 187.23. So this is one example of how you can utilize inside ranges, specifically in this example, monthly inside ranges, to find targets and use them as key pivotal breakouts. Now, for a longer term, I would need to see snow hold above this May monthly inside breakout for this to continue higher into 200 and 200 plus. Another example is actually taking a look at DraftKings. DraftKings was one of my highest conviction trades of this year, and I had initially added this to the watch list in January as well. You can look at my previous YouTube video that discusses the entire analysis for DraftKings. Now, same thing with DraftKings. You'll notice that we've actually been trading inside the monthly inside candle of March 2020. Once we broke into this, which was about March of last year, we traded in this for over a year before we broke out of it again. Now, if we zoom in, here in this yellow circle is when I added DraftKings to the weekly watch list in January. Now, we were able to capitalize on this based on a few factors. Number one, technically speaking, the chart looked extremely bullish. We not only held the monthly inside low from 2020, we're also having a huge bull flag breakout from the lows. And at the time of adding it to the watch list, we were able to capitalize on this move with an initial swing. And after that, we rolled it up into a March contract. And we were able to exit for about 143% once our target hit. Now, what would be my target? Well, the target would be the top of the monthly inside range that we found. So the monthly inside candle for March 2020 gave us a target of the high and resistance of 1950. Meanwhile, the low of that candle was 1060. So we entered around $13 or $14, and we rode it all the way up into our target, a little past our target, and we sold on this day. Now you also notice that the chart pulled back a bit. Trend was still holding. At this point, I wasn't really watching DraftKings anymore, but it broke back out of the monthly inside range. And from then, we have seen another 50% move, 60% move from that into the recent high of 31.32. So the total move provided since I added it to watch list and provided it was over 110%. Now, when you look at a chart like this and you tie in the fundamentals, when I added DraftKings to the watch list, Encore, the casino here in Massachusetts, recently got approved for sports betting. So they had a lot of booths where you can submit your sports betting inside the casino. Based on that, it was inevitable that Massachusetts was also going to approve sports betting for mobile platforms such as DraftKings and FanDuel and all the other casinos. So this became an A+ setup and a no-brainer trade, not just based off technicals, but fundamentals as well. When you pair the two together, it's really a no-brainer. Another one I wanted to talk about was a recent one that we added to the watch list, Hood. This was actually part of the watch list for this past week. And same thing here. If you just look at the monthly chart, many names are actually trading within the same type of monthly inside candle from either last April, May, or June. Now, if you watch Hood here, you can mark these levels as well. Now you'll find that the top of the monthly inside candle and the bottom of the monthly inside candle are 1097 and 771 respectively. I was a little late to the party on this squeeze, but the timing of when I added it to the watch list was actually right here on this week, on July 10th. And even then, once it broke out of the monthly inside range, we saw a 20% move into the end of the week. A few other names that I'm currently watching. One of them is SE. So same thing here. I've drawn out my monthly inside candles, and this one is May of 2022. Again, very similar monthly inside ranges that were being formed on many individual names. Now with SE, we're pretty much trading at the bottom of this range. So the risk reward for longs on this is pretty high, especially considering how the market is doing recently. Now, if this breaks below 54.06 and ends up holding, then this is likely going to see continued downside movement. However, you are now seeing a huge range that can be traded on SE all the way up into 90 again. Now, if we actually zoom in, again, once you find this monthly inside range, you zoom in and you try to understand what's going on with the chart. If we zoom in, you're actually going to see a bullish divergence here. Right here. And you'll notice the RSI here. A very nice bullish divergence happening on multiple higher time frames, the daily, the 4-hour, etc. So if we're able to hold this monthly inside low, 54.06, then we can expect this move to continue to the upside into 70, into 65, into 90 as well. Another name that has the same thing is Best Buy, BBY. Once again, you're going to notice the same monthly inside candle from June of last year that we've been trading in for over a year now, right? And this monthly inside candle range provided some fake outs on both sides. We've been pretty range bound for the entire year, and now we have rejected the upside again. So this is another opportunity that you can watch for calls and longer expirations to see whether or not this actually breaks out to the upside. Once that holds and closes above, you can expect a larger reversal to this. Now, another example I wanted to actually show you guys is SPX. So far, I've pretty much shown you how to utilize the inside candles on larger time frames, but this actually works on any time frame. To give you guys an example of how I use this for SPX, on Thursday, we had a relatively choppy morning. Nothing was really happening, and I was telling my community that, look, there is a 30-minute inside range and hourly as well. If you zoom out to the hourly and 30 minutes, we have an inside candle that we're trading within right now. And we traded within that candle for about 2 hours. Anything in between this range is a no trade zone. Why? Well, you're probably going to get chopped up. You're going to lose to Theta. You're going to lose to IV Crush as well, especially when nothing is happening in the market. However, once you get a break of either side, in this case, we were looking at 44.99.04 and 44.89.36. Once you get the break to either side of the range, you can capitalize on that direction of move, which is exactly what we did. In the chat, while I was driving home, I called out 45.10, right around this area, I believe. I was able to capitalize that for over 100% on these calls. And by the close, this break and hold of the inside candle provided about an 18-point move into the highs. Hope you guys enjoyed that. This is one of my simplest methods in terms of finding pivotal breakout points for larger moves. It's a very, very simple method, just finding an inside candle. This doesn't always happen. I think that's one thing to remember. But once you see it, you'll know. And this has been gold for me in terms of finding bottoms on many individual names the past 6, 7, 8 months. Thank you guys for joining. Please hit that like button and subscribe if you like my content, and feel free to share with your friends and family. Thank you.